Hello everyone, this is Ether Dragon, and welcome back to another laggy episode of SkyFactory. Oh boy. So, I've been reading up for the longest time about what could be causing the lag, and I've come to a couple of conclusions. One could be Java, because when I was trying to record this episode, it crashed because of a Java error. So I was thinking, okay, maybe it's Java. And then it also could be just all the stuff that's going on in the game, which is also probable, except for the fact that I run like 60 to 120 FPS when I'm not recording, so it's kind of suspicious. And also, I just have no clue. That's the conclusion. But anywho, we're gonna start the episode today. Um, Trying to do some things, hopefully. I got these two cows, an enderium cow and a terrasteel cow. And if you don't know what terrasteel is, it's a late game metal from Botania, and it seems like I can cast it into ingots. So I'm basically getting free terrasteel, not OP whatsoever, and free enderium. Except I already have the resources for basically enderium for days anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But it's kind of just a cool little thing, right? Alright, so to start the episode, I noticed that I have finally, after all this time, I have enough cobble for the octuple. It's one of the achievements, so here we go. Need 9 of these septuples. We have made 11 because we have a little extra. And there we go, guys. The almighty octuple compressed cobble. 40 over 43 million cobble went into it. But since that's the achievement, guys. Oh gosh, you're not supposed to do this. Okay, there we go. Like I said, it's kind of laggy, but if you can deal with it, this is probably what it's going to be like for the rest of the series. Round face. Alright, so today we have a lot of stuff to do if you've looked in the bag here. First things first I want to do is make diamond spikes, because for the longest time I have not done anything with to upgrade our mob farm. And later, when we get the resources, we'll go ahead and upgrade this to enchant the diamond spikes to fortune 3, and then we'll put them in the mob system. And if you don't know, diamond spikes act as players, so act as if a player was killing them. So the mobs will also drop XP, which is kind of nice. So you can have an automatic killing chamber basically. And then so we can get into making our mob farm a little bit better with cursed earth and fans and all that shizzle. But that's for another episode, like always. But anyways, we're gonna quickly go through achievements here. We've done this, that's technically done this. I mean, I'll do that literally whenever we get the chance. We're just gonna say we've done it. Kill a wither. Craft a chunk loader. That was in the bag. That just keeps the chunks loaded. So we're gonna work on big reactors today too, because we need power. Can never have enough power. I know there's something. Here we go. Craft. There we go. All right. So moving on, because we have a lot of stuff to do this episode. Gonna make our crossbow. So I went ahead and made a longbow to see how it compares the short bow, and well, you can kind of see the difference. Does a lot more damage. Just ignore the fact I have quartz on these. Just ignore that. I didn't want to put luck on it to get 7 million items, so I was like, might as well make them decent melee weapons as well. So I have that going for me, and that guy escapes. But I noticed that the crossbow is very inaccurate. You can see that if you look carefully, the arrow spread's kind of ridiculous even at close range. So I decided let's try out the crossbow. We're basically making every weapon in the game in the mod pack for Tinkers. So we have an enderium crossbow limb, best limb. Paper tough binding because that's the best material I got. It adds an extra modifier, screws with the durability though. Enderium crossbow body. Ideally you want thaumium, but I don't have enough thaumium ingots for that. And fiery bowstring just because. And here we have the enderium crossbow. And then for the bolts, we have slime leaf fletching and a manyullyn tipped enderium bolt. And if you want to know how to make that, you make an enderium tool rod using the tool rod cast, and then you just pour, I believe, 1 ingot of whatever material you want to coat it with. So I did manyullyn. So at the moment we are doing 21 hearts. It's already almost better. So I think the crossbow is going to be our main option in this mod pack for our range until we get to draconic evolution and get the OP gear. But you've probably noticed I have auto repair on this because I didn't consider it, but RNGesus with what do you call it? RNG with iguana tweaks, which is like the leveling up system. That's a mod for Tinkers, an add-on to Tinkers. It gave me moss for my first upgrade. I spent like all the first modifiers on draw speed, and then my next upgrade was auto repair. So rest in pieces. Another reason why we're gonna go with the crossbow, because using RF is just a lot better. So if we charge this up here, right now has a really slow charge time, but if you fire, it doesn't use a lot. You have a lot of shots of 400,000 at RF. The rule with the flux modifier is for the capacitors. There's the leadstone, hardened, redstone, and then resonant. To put them on your Tinkers, whatever Tinkers thing, you can do it on a weapon or a tool or something. The durability of this has to be at least 1/1000th of the RF capacity. So since this thing has only 1200 durability, can't use the redstone one. You have to have at least 4000 durability to put the redstone one on. But the hardened one's totally fine. You get a lot of shots out of it. So in between episodes, I will go ahead and upgrade that, max it out, and see how the damage is. Also made an alumite longsword that does pretty well, 13.5 hearts. Sprint damage is 20 hearts, is pretty nice. Got some good stuff on it. This is going to be probably a good looting sword. And we're going to upgrade it to manyullyn here. That basically doubles the durability. That's kind of nice. So for now, it's just going to sit in here as another backup weapon to this guy. This guy's pretty good too. It's got lifesteal. Also, you probably heard me saying that I was trying to record the episode and then things didn't work out. That is because of that Java corruption, and that killed like 2.5 hours of progress or something, so I had to spend a lot of time catching up on that work. So I did all the crossbow stuff, and then I got pretty good stuff, sort of. I got bane of arthropods and some junk, but I got life steal and I got everything I needed, and it was doing a boatload of damage. So we'll see if RNGesus changes, like if I'll get the same exact upgrades or not. We'll see. So anyways, just made a coke oven here with coke bricks. Pretty cheap stuff, not too expensive. Once you're at this point in the game, it's really late, but just ignore that. So with the coke oven, you can take some coal and it'll turn into coal coke very slowly, but it will. And it creates some creosote oil, which you can use to make treated wood planks, I think they're called. Treated, yep, looks pretty nice. So that's a good building block. And I think it's the only way you can get creosote oil, so. Another thing I wanted to do is build a crusher because we can. Honestly, that's literally the only reason why. Because I just wanted to check out some things, you know, see how it works. I'll go ahead and build it right here, I guess. Let's just knock that out. So this thing will give us quick rundown of how to build this. It's kind of a big contraption, so I'll build it this way. So okay, oh, that's the wrong block. Rip. Hopefully it's not too laggy for you all. Let's see if how well I remember this. Okay, so far so good. Next layer. Oh gosh, those are fences, right? And then it's like this. This crusher, what it allows you to do is takes some ores like redstone and gold, and when you crush it in here, hence the name the crusher, then you can get the almighty cinnabar, which is used to like triple ores and get you rich slag and all sorts of great stuff. So I was like, why not? Let's give it a try. Now, right click for hammer. Alright, hazardous machinery. I believe this thing does take power, and it seems like it can crush you if you get into it. I don't know. Well, I'll have to toy with that off camera so you see how it works. Because I don't want to waste too much time this episode because we have a lot to do, like I said. Alright, next things first. That makes sense. Alright. Big Reactor is going to be next after I show you guys what I've done. Now, I don't exactly remember what I've gone over since it's been a while since I've recorded, so I don't exactly know if I have everything straight in my head. So, upgrade all these guys to resonant. Some of my machines are still like reinforced or hardened because I don't need them to be upgraded. But upgraded all my servos that I'm able to see to resonant. Have impulse item ducts. I think I already talked about that. Here we have a sand shortage, even though we have these guys going ham with this 8 times speed. Oh, thing's not getting any cobble. What? What's going on? Yo, what's going on? I don't know. What's the deal? Hello? Do I have to probably have to update the item ducts, I think. That would be my best guess. Because the input's there, so. I don't know. It's not given the cobble. It's just, I don't know. Well, we'll have to figure out what the heck's going on here. I don't know what the deal is. I really don't. If I take this out, it just might be the branching. I'll be honest. Might just be the branching. I'll fix that later. I don't know what that's about. It's interesting. But you probably noticed we have a ton of 64 we have 64 fortune and speed upgrades on everything, so pretty nice. I think I'm gonna shut off dust production because we're not getting enough sand right now, so oh well. Have these hardened caches to hold all the stuff that's not ore stuff. Accumulating quite a bit of flint, coal, and stuff. It's pretty good. Um, let's see what else. Mob system, kind of filtering out some stuff, filtering out the main mob items, so we have a more clean storage system. And the mob system just, as always, mostly disabled for videos. Nothing much has changed here. I just have some caches to hold more stuff because I also have 64 speed and fortune upgrades in here. Add another farming station because one wasn't keeping up with how fast they're growing. You can see that they're just sitting there even with two, but it's still getting picked up decently fast. And we have sugarcane growing here because I think we need more later. Made more generators. We have a 64 times down there, and you probably saw another 64 over there. But we have big reactors coming in, so we're gonna get even more power. Move the grass patch over here because I realized that half of the grass patch over here was in the river biome, and if you have any idea of any logic, obviously things can't spawn in the river biome, so how about you just die for no reason? Okay, like I said, not very accurate, which is another reason why the crossbow is just better. I have no idea why the longbow and shortbow aren't as good as I thought they were, but whatever. We have a boatload more growth pulsers. This is completely solid, filled with growth pulsers all the way through. It's a lot of diamonds, but speeding up our crop growth by a ton. So it's totally worth it. A lot of it's for the Manyullyn to grow faster because I spent like 100 stacks of Manyullyn essence making growth pulsers, so it's very expensive. But anyways, let's get to the bulk of the video. Oh wait, I also forgot to mention, dang it. Totally professional videos. I forgot to mention that I put blazing pyrotheum under these crucibles, so they now melt at 7 times the speed, which is why our lava generators are getting enough lava, and we're actually producing obsidian again. And if you don't know, blazing pyrotheum is super hot. It sets everything around it on fire, but since I have it lowered like this, it can't set anything on fire, and it turns regular stone to smooth stone, which is why there's a little smooth stone patch over here because I had a little spill, but it's alright. Alright, anyways, let's get to the bulk of the video. Big reactors, what's the big deal? So big reactors is just a great power generation mod. You can get lots of power going with this. So we're gonna start off by making the smallest reactor, in case you don't know what that is. If you're new to the mod, I'm new to the mod too, so don't think I'm a professional, but I know a bit about big reactors. So we'll start with the cheapest of them all, the simplest of all reactors. So you gotta make a lot of these reactor casings, and that requires graphite. Graphite, you just smelt coal or charcoal, I believe, in a furnace, and you can get a graphite bar. So it's pretty cheap. Yellorium, you just gotta get from sifting sand. Typically, you'll get that yellorium dust that's right at my crosshair right there, and you can process that with some machinery and get yourself your first yellorium ingots before you get into manyullyn, of course. Then now we have yellorium for days, sort of. So anyways, you're gonna make reactor casing, reactor controller, which is like your main interface for the reactor, reactor access ports. You need 2 of these at least. One of them is gonna be for input, and if it doesn't lag, one of them is for output. So it's either you have to have one that's like neon yellow, I guess, and the other one has to be blue. Do I have chest on me? No, it's fine. we'll just deal without chests for now. And then for the actual reactor, where all the shenanigans take place, you need the enderium fuel rod, and on top of that, a control rod, and then a power tap, so you can output the power. It does hold 10 million RF with the power tap as well, which is kind of nice. And then you can just fill the rest in with, okay, that's some lag. You just fill the rest up with reactor casing, and if everything is built right, you should notice something happen when you fill out the entire thing. Alright, so laggy. Oh man. Alright, we had a major lag spike, and hopefully the first part of the video didn't get corrupted, but I placed all the rest of the reactor casing, and here we go. First reactor. So you just activate the reactor here, and we're going to start off with some enderium here. Let's see how much it uses. It uses 4 enderium ingots, okay. I guess each fuel rod holds 4. And you can see right now we're outputting a wonderful 264.5 RF per tick. So if you don't know what this interface is all about, this is general core temperature, I believe. Core heat, yep. So you ideally don't want this to be too hot. The hotter, if it gets too hot, which is about above 1,000 degrees Celsius, you'll typically start losing efficiency. Your fuel, which is how much it's being consumed, how fast it's being consumed, it'll increase, so that's not good. You always want it around, I think, 600 to 800. Could be wrong. It might be 600 to 1,000 or something. Casing heat's just the heat of the actual reactor's casing. And same dealio with the core heat. Fuel reactivity is, it's good to have a lot of it, basically. And here, so you'll see that it's slowly being depleted, and at a certain point, when it has enough depleted stuff, it will output cyanite ingots out here. So this is what the cyanite reprocessor is for. You can make, I believe, plutonium out of it, which is used to make the better reactors, the actively cooled reactors. This is a passively cooled reactor. I don't want to go around and explaining that right now, so we'll skip that part. But this is the very first reactor you can make. If you don't want to deal with all this shenanigans, and you just want to get to the big stuff, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try making a good big one. Hopefully. We're going to waste some fuel and stuff, I know, but thank goodness for vein miner. Anyways, alright, so today we're going to be trying to make a 5x5. Unless I'm interpreting this wrong. I don't know. Alright, so 5x5 it is. Now I don't exactly know what the optimal layout is for these reactors. I know a few things like cryothium is the best internal coolant, and then on the very outside you want enderium, I think, or is it resin and ender? It's one of the two. I think it's enderium. Pretty sure it is. On the outside. So if eventually, in between episodes, because I need to derp around with this, I'm probably gonna make it 7x7, and then have enderium on these tiles. But anyways, we're not gonna talk about that right now. So we're gonna make this 3 tall. So we're gonna do this. Okay. I don't know what I did there. Just showing you guys how to build this in case you're new and you're somehow, for some reason, watching me for information. I don't know why you would be doing that, because there's a lot better channels out there, but if you want to watch, go ahead. So that's your general frame. I believe you can make these out of reactor glass, but I don't know. So let's put the controller here. Reactor access port we'll put here. And we might as well put the outlet one out here too. Actually, let's just put them all on the same side. That wouldn't be a terrible idea, would it? Just put this here. I'm pretty sure this works. And then reactor power type. There we go. And then we gotta fill the rest in. So I'm gonna fill in the roof with reactor casing because we're not gonna ever look at the top. Oh wait. Need these open. We're gonna try five control rods. I've heard the most efficient is to have it in that kind of tic-tac-toe-ish shape. So we're gonna try it, see how it does. And since I have Manyullyn, I turned my the very first Blizz rods I got into Blizz seeds. So now we're just overflowing in Blizz rods, and so we have plenty of cryotheum as well, because each Blizz rod is equivalent to, I think, 4 yellorium, maybe, if I am not mistaken. Actually, we gotta take out all these reactor casings because we have some extra stuff to do. So, gotta put in the control rods now. Got 15. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was a fail. Absolute fail. The thing about cryotheum, though, in the big reactors is that it always flows downward, so you always need to have more. I also need to toy around with graphite. I don't really know how important putting graphite blocks in your reactor is. I have no clue. Alright, so, I didn't make enough buckets, of course. So, that's awkward. Didn't make enough buckets of cryotheum. That's very awkward. We need a lot of buckets, actually. Well, I only made half as many buckets as I need. Alright, I'll be back, guys. Another cuts.